Good morning, everybody. Hello and welcome to Guest in the Nest. We have a really special guest today. I'm super excited to welcome Rima. Rima is from Walls and More, right? Am I saying it right? Walls and
You are
More.
absolutely.
Yay! And Rima and I are actually in the same coaching group together. And I'm working toward collaborating more with other creatives who are in the same coaching group just to help each other along, to help us meet each other's audiences and just create and play together. And that's what we're going to do today. We do not, I told Rima, just work on whatever you want to work on. And I'm going to do the same. So there's no theme to what we're doing. The focus is really on getting to know Rima and having a conversation with her, but we'll be crafting at the same time. So we may chat about what we're working on. I see that Rima has, it looks like an angel in front of her.
Yes,
Some Christmas
I
angel.
am. I'm probably going to do a shattered glass with resin on the.
Ooh. Oh, exciting. Okay, so Rima, I am scared to death of resin. I have it.
I
I've never
love it.
used it.
I
So
love.
I know all the crafty chicks here on my page are going to be like, yes, Rima, show us some resin. Woo woo, get it, girl, because Grace don't do that.
It's my weakness.
It's your weakness.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, you get resin in, you do your resin thing. I'm going to just be playing in one of my journals. I'm going to be decorating some of these pages while we chat. I can see that some of the crafty chicks are rolling in. Jana is here. She's saying, howdy, ladies. Kim is here, and Vicky and Janet. Oh my gosh. Rita's popping on. Thank you for sprinkling, Rita. We appreciate the support when you guys are sharing this out to the world. That is so helpful to us. So thank you for helping us meet new people.
Now, I'm not sure how many of my people are going to be on because usually I'm on at 2. So this is a completely welcome time change because I've been thinking about changing my times. So this is a test for me as well. Good morning, everyone.
Yes. So if you are here from Rima's page, make sure in the comments that you give her a Walls and More like shout out so that she knows that you're here, and that will help her understand if this is a good time for you guys. Like, does this time of day work well for you if she's planning on making some adjustments to the time that she goes live? So welcome to everybody. We're super excited you're here. It is Tuesday, December 12th. Can you believe it? Christmas is around the corner.
I haven't started my shopping yet.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Rima, do us a favor because I know, well, if you already know, if you're a crafty chick and you already hang out with Rima, give her a shout out in the comments, let her know that. But Rima, give us the rundown, who you are, where you are, how you got started, what your business name, how it came about, just general info about you so that the crafty chicks over here on the Comfy Nest page can get to know you.
Okay. Well, first of all, as Grace said, my name is Rima Bechara. And I was born in Beirut, Lebanon, and then I moved to the United Kingdom when I was 9. And from there, I did my degree in business. I started working in commodities with Merrill Lynch. I came over here, I know, totally different, totally. I came over here and I got married to my husband that I met in college in actually Manchester in England. And we started our life over here. And I still continue to work in commodities. I got thrown out of art classes, by the way. I did get thrown out of art classes. I got kicked out of cooking and I got kicked out of sewing.
Wait. Before you move on, okay, where was sewing and cooking? Was this in college or where were these classes that you were getting kicked out?
High school.
In high school. And what was it, because you weren't paying attention, or what was it that...
The cooking, for example, we were doing peppermint patties. I don't know if you know what those are.
Yeah.
And the teacher asked me to close this peppermint essence. So I thought I could do it with one hand or 2 fingers. I didn't realize I'd have to hold the bottle and push down. So I just did it with 2 fingers and it flew all over her.
Oh.
So she kicked me out.
It sounds like an honest, innocent error. It wasn't like you were being naughty on purpose.
No, I wasn't. And then in sewing, you know how they have, I don't sew, I glue, but you know how they have um, the plastic thing that they put on top of the table, which I didn't realize was to protect the table, but it was. I She told us to cut the pattern, so I did. So I put my material on top of the plastic, and I put my pattern, and I cut right through the plastic.
Oh no. Oh,
She didn't
again,
tell me. She didn't tell me. Um,
that sounds like a real innocent mistake here. You were just having a tough run of luck in these classes, I think.
yeah, so I just knew art was not going to be in my life. Anything domestic was not going to be in my life. But then I had after 5 years, I had my first child, and I refused to go back to work. It was hard, but we made it work. And then I had my second child, and that was the same thing. But what I was doing when I had my first child was taking classes at night at the local high school. So
Yeah.
I would so I could decorate the house. And then there was a lot of shows on TV.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
Christopher Lowell, I don't know if you remember him.
Yep.
And so I started, thank you for welcoming me, Leslie. And I started doing things in like marbling in my bathrooms. And then a
Very ambitious.
contractor came in and saw my work and said, I've got a job for you. So,
And there you have it.
yep. And that's how
You found your way to doing like home decor and walls, right?
it was walls, basically. Walls. It was Venetian plaster. I didn't do murals. I cannot draw. And uh, that's how I started. And then I started flying all over the country to take classes from real professionals.
Sure.
And I would. There's a group called IDAL, the International Decorative Artisans League, that has like conferences once a year. I was always there
Oh,
taking several classes, which helped, and that's how I got into this. But then my name, when I was thinking about it, and I spoke to my husband, I said, "Well, I'm doing walls, and so I think walls should be in there." And uh, but I said I don't want to limit myself to walls. What if one
right.
day I move to another area
Yeah.
of art?
Yep.
That's where more came in.
Okay, gotcha. That makes perfect sense.
So it worked out really well for me, and the rest is history, I guess.
I guess she says. Well, so how long ago was that, Rima, that you started your business? And then
Um,
the secondary question is, then how long ago did you move on to social media? Has that always been at the same time, or did one come first and then the next?
my business was first. I was afraid of social media. I took some classes in that, but it was mostly just doing walls. And before Facebook, this was before Facebook, we used to have forums for our groups, and I'm sure you must have had forums as well.
Okay,
And after that, that's when everybody started moving to Facebook.
gotcha.
And as soon as you learn Facebook, it changes.
Oh, no doubt. Like, that's the truth. That is totally the truth.
And then with Serena, I did Instagram and Pinterest. I can't get the hang of TikTok. I can't get the hang of sending emails. Canva is rough for me. I have a YouTube, but I don't use it. I have a problem cutting down my videos to remove the riff raff chats. And
It's challenging. There is a huge learning curve when you're trying to run a business through social media to get attention to
absolutely
your business. There's a really big learning curve of all the things. So it's beyond knowing your craft and the thing that you're good at or the thing that you're teaching or sharing. There's
right.
all the behind the scenes stuff that I don't think a lot of people, if you're not doing it, you don't think of it until you have to do it. And then it's like, it's mind blowing how much stuff there is to know and do.
And that's one side of it. But then if you also have websites
Yes.
that ordering materials, ordering products, putting them on the website,
Right. There's
packing
so much to
orders.
it.
And in
Yeah.
my case, I have two. I have Etsy and
Oh,
I
you do
have,
have an Etsy shop.
yes,
Cool.
but my Etsy shop is purely would you bet.
Okay.
I became a retailer for them. I think the month they got started.
Okay.
So that was a long time ago. And I think I'm one of their oldest, not in age, but in time,
Longest standing. Yeah. Yeah.
longest standing retailers.
Gotcha.
And I also do Would You Bend Would You Bend lives every other week.
You do on there. Is it they'll find you on your page you're doing that or on the Would You Bend page?
No, I do it on my page and they share me out.
Oh, but
Uh,
they'll see you on both. Well,
yes,
that's good to know. So ladies and gentlemen, normally there aren't gentlemen here hanging out with me. Rima, usually it's the ladies. So I usually refer to the ladies. So take note that you can find her on that day doing Would You Bend if you like the Would You Bend product line or if you're
right,
curious about it.
right. And it's on Etsy and I can post that after the live if you don't mind.
Yeah, you could give me all your links. Rima, when we're done, send me a private message with the links that you most want people to go to, and I will
Okay.
do like a post. Like I'll do a post by itself after this live broadcast with all of where people can find you.
Okay, perfect. And I just got a message from one of my followers that they can't find me on my page, and guess why?
Why?
Because I shared it. I shared it with my on my personal page and not my
Oh
business.
gosh. Okay. Yeah. So you would have to change your profile on there,
Yeah,
like
I
where
just
you're.
did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So
It happens. It happens to all of us. I think it's just.
now I'm
Yep.
trying to get
It's
back to it. So I apologize if I'm
well.
not
It's
doing it
It's
correct.
such a challenge. You're doing good. We can get it all shared out later if need be.
Okay. All right. And then what other things can I tell you? The first art thing that after doing, I stopped doing walls for after about 10 years of doing walls. No, not 10 years, about 7 years. I felt I was too old to be climbing ladders.
Oh, imagine that. That happens too.
Yeah, and stagers.
Yeah, that's another whole challenge, right?
Um,
Yeah.
right, absolutely. And I had a friend of mine who was also a faux finisher, who was starting a business on Facebook, and it was with shattered glass and resin.
Okay.
So I joined. After about a year of her being on Facebook, she opened up a private group, and this must be 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and I've been a member ever since. And from there, I just kind of developed into Would You Bend. And I actually started retailing. Don't laugh about this. I started retailing Would You Bend to to pay for my habit of glass and resin because they're not cheap. So I
Hey,
kept
I don't think that's something that you have to like. I think that's smart. I don't, why would anybody judge you for that? I think that's really smart.
because people normally would say, "Oh, it's because you love pent art. Oh, it's because you love foils." that you're doing, that you're selling foils on your website or, um,
But your true passion is the resin.
yes,
How
resin
long
and
have you
glass.
been how long have you been doing that?
Doing and selling are two different things.
Right, yeah,
Selling,
how long have you started doing it?
um, beginning was probably when I joined her group, which was five
Oh,
years ago.
many
But
years ago, yeah.
then I didn't feel comfortable selling it. I'm not a very good um, seller. I tend to put people off buying my stuff um, more than I kind of don't I don't how do I say, I don't sell my work. I can sell your work. I can sell anyone else's work. I can promote you, but I cannot do it for myself. There's things
Is that come from like a sense of being humble, or
I think
what do
it's
you think?
culture. I think it's culture. We were raised not to show how good we are at
Okay,
one particular thing. So it
gotcha.
took me a while well, I'm not even comfortable with it because I'd say to myself, who's that idiot wanting to buy my stuff?
Oh, stop it,
I'm
Rima. But
serious.
but it's really it's I'm so glad you brought up the cultural, because with you being born in Lebanon and you were raised in a different culture than many of us, that's a really insightful thing for us to know about you.
Yeah. I
You
mean,
know, in terms of the way you look at your business. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, plus women weren't supposed to be in business,
Right.
even though I was. I'd get told things like, what's the matter? Can't your father afford to keep you?
Oh, wow.
So that's the
Wow.
kind of negatives, you know. And I remember my father, for a period of time, stopped talking to me because I was working.
Oh gosh, I see. It really is a cultural,
It is
just
very
like
not any
almost like a cultural block or
right,
obstacle for a business owner. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Um, uh, it doesn't happen anymore. And before my father died, I did realize he was very, very proud of me. Um, but it's not typically um, the sort of thing he would have liked me to do.
Sure. I can understand that. I can understand.
It's
Wow,
hard though.
that's really good. It's really good that you share that, because like I said, it just gives insight to who you are as an artist and a person, and why. The why is just
Right.
as important as to who you are. So thank you for sharing that.
Oh, you're welcome. The other thing that I noticed doing lives is I'm not very good with words. I can speak English fluently. There's many, many words I don't understand in English.
Okay.
Um, but I also, because I speak a total of three languages fluently, I don't have all my words in English. So I'd be tempted to say a word in French and then stop myself and say, that's
Sure.
not the word I should be
Yeah.
saying, or in Arabic. So,
Wow.
sometimes people have to be a little bit patient with me. I do. Sometimes I find my words and sometimes I don't. And I have a moderator who's amazing. She knows me very well because she seems to find my words for me.
That sounds helpful.
Yeah. And, the culture thing mostly is, I think, um, what held me back. And I think that makes you not confident.
Right, right. I could see how it would just strip away your confidence. Yeah.
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 And so right now, by the way, let me just explain what I'm doing. Um, this canvas board, I think, is 12 by 12. No, 10 by 10. And I got from Dollar Tree this shape of, I don't draw. I can trace, but I can't draw. And I
Okay.
can't sew. So I got this and I first painted you know how the canvases come a bit dirty sometimes?
Yes.
So I painted it with an off-white, a shimmery off-white
Oh, pretty.
for the angel, and I did change the wings a bit. I don't think they're that great, but that's okay. And I usually, because this is a glittery color, a metallic color, um, I did an undercoat. And usually I do black, but this time I did blue. And I'm doing the edges. I always do my edges, a lot of resin artists. And by the way, that's a field that's really, really, you see everybody doing it now.
There's a lot of people, not Grace. Grace isn't doing this, Rima. I'm still too afraid of it. But
Oh,
there are a
no,
lot
no,
of
you have to get over it. I'll help you get over it. But you've got your work cut out because I don't understand journaling. I don't understand the point of it. I've even told Teresa that. I don't get
Teresa from Teresa. Which
from
Teresa?
from Decoupage
Oh,
Queen.
from Decoupage Queen. Yes, yes.
Um, that I don't get the point of it. There's no point for me. Uh, and then people buy them and they pay a lot of money.
Yes, yes. Well, you know what? Just like so many art forms, there are many, many, many hours that go into these books. It is
Yes,
not, they don't, you can't just whip one. You can whip one together, but it's not going to have the depth and the interest on the inside if you just leave all the pages blank. So
right.
decorating the inside and creating the pockets and all that interactive element, it takes time.
Oh, I know.
So yeah, so when you see folks selling their, just as a general public service announcement, if you're out there and you see folks selling their created journals and books, and their starting price, if it's a bid, or the asking price is a lot, it's because you have to consider the many, many, many hours and
Right,
all of the materials that
right,
and that person's expertise in learning how to do this over the years, that it's
right.
all gone
I
into that.
think that's the part that I think people forget.
Yeah.
Everything we do, every time I do a different canvas, I'm learning, and
Yes.
people don't realize um, that's classes, that's lessons, that's time
Right.
and time. I remember in my wall days, I was doing a customer's uh, walls with Venetian plaster, and you need a primer, a base coat, and then at least 3 coats of
Right.
troweling. You don't paint the Venetian plaster; you trowel it on, and it
Oh,
and it takes a toll on your hands.
that sounds so labor intensive.
Yeah, and I had a customer saying, "I don't understand why you charge so much." Um,
Wow.
and I said, "Do you want to do this?
You
Try
know,
doing it."
it's that statement, I don't understand. That's the cusp of it. They really truly don't understand all that goes into it. So when
No,
they say that, they're being legit. It's not, I don't think they're being disrespectful. I think they just literally do not understand the 5 coats, and that you're not using a paintbrush, you're using, you're plastering it on.
right.
Fascinating.
But even the ones that actually see me doing it, they see me trowel and it may look easy, but they don't realize the physical
Effort. Yeah.
part.
The effort that goes into it. And there's a couple of things that play there too. There's the knowledge. You can
Right,
watch somebody trowel to get that effect and think to yourself, okay, now I'm going to do it.
right,
But you will not succeed the first time in getting the same look, because then it's about fine motor skills and training your muscles and your body, your
exactly,
hands and your muscles, to do it the right way so that you get the look that you're looking for. So it's not too thick,
exactly,
not too thin, that it gives the effect. So there's
right,
the training involved with many hours of doing it so that you can do it successfully in a way that someone really likes the look of it.
right, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I was, at the beginning, I was doing it mostly to Lebanese because um, it was easier for me to have them come to my whole house is done up. Um,
Oh, so it's almost like an art gallery of your work.
yes. Um, and I've had, like I'll do the contract and I'll tell them how much. And they always, and this is a cultural thing, push you down. Like if I say 300, they'll say, oh, that's too much. Do it for 100. And I finally got to saying to people, excuse me, when you go into Bloomingdale's and you see a vase for 500, do you tell Bloomingdale's, can I have
Right.
this for 3?
Right.
And they say,
Right.
no, of course not.
Right.
Well, what's the difference?
Yeah.
So, but that is a cultural thing. And that did not help my confidence either.
No, I'm sure it did not. I'm sure not. This is really good conversation to have, and we're getting some comments. Wanda says, people don't understand. I'm going to put it up on the screen so we can read it. People don't understand how much time, supplies, and everything else it takes to do crafts and to do
Right.
projects. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely, Wanda. Hi, Wanda. Hi, Ari. How are you?
Oh, look at my sweet Tita Smith. Now, Tita is an art instructor, and she says, Rima, tracing is the first important step to drawing. Don't apologize for tracing. You are delightful. I admire all you've done to overcome many obstacles. How sweet. Oh,
Oh,
I
that
love
is so kind.
it.
Is
Is
your
so
name
kind. We have
Tita?
sweet, sweet chicks here at the Comfy Nest. Sweet
Yeah, you
chicks.
do. Now, Tita, is it Tita?
Tita. Yes.
Okay, well, if you look at the word in Arabic, teta, you don't say E, you say A, that means grandma.
Oh,
So teta in Arabic is grandma. And I
it
just
means
became
grandma.
one 3 months ago.
You did. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's exciting news. What a blessing.
I know, I know. I've been waiting forever for him. He
You
doesn't
have
know.
then he's a grandson.
Yes, a grandson.
What's his
Um,
name? You got to tell us his details. What's his name?
his name is Nicholas.
Oh, that's
After,
beautiful.
and also we tend to take. If it's a boy, they take the grandfather's name on either
Okay.
side. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
Um, and because he's the firstborn on my son-in-law's side, well, no, he's the second-born. Um, he as well, they kept the name for my son-in-law to use for his father.
Nice.
And that's, I guess, cultural as well. Although, many people may do the same, call after an ancestor or a grandfather.
Oh, Tita says I am a grandmother. So there you go. That's very fitting for her.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, the other thing is that when I was growing up, no one called me Rima. They all called me Mimi. That was my
Mimi.
nickname. Yeah, and when I came here, I didn't realize that Mimi was grandma as well.
For a lot of people, Mimi is a grandma. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of strange how my nickname was grandma as well.
Well, now you are grandma, so it works
I
perfect.
am. Hi, Miriam. Oh, I'm glad you found me. I didn't know what I was doing. I'm really sorry.
You
Hey,
made it
Nicole.
work.
Hey,
You made it work.
Nicole.
You're
Thank
doing
you.
good.
Thank you.
So Amanda Dorier is here too. She has Simply Flamazing Art, and she is also a member of the Nook in our
Yes.
same coaching group.
Mm-hmm.
Rima, how long have you been in the Nook? Has it been for very long?
Ask Amanda how long she's been in, and I am maybe 3 months older because I'm the one that
Longer.
joined.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
I did not know you were connected.
Yes.
I love it. Amanda, so how long have you been in the Nook, my dear? We're asking for you to put in the comments. So I don't even know, Rima. I can't even, I've been in, I'm thinking at least 2 years.
I could be a year and a half or 2 years, but as far as Sabina is concerned, I'm a newbie.
As far as you're concerned, you're a newbie. There's so much to learn. Serena gives us so much information that it's
It's
really good
overwhelming.
because no matter where you are in your business, you can pick up information and,
Yes.
and take it and run with it. But it is really up to us to run with it. She can give us the information, but she can't make us do the homework and to do
No,
the
that's
work.
true. And the
So,
other thing that she does very, very well is send me on guilt trips.
oh,
And
oh,
I
is that
hate
your?
that.
Well, it's kind of our job to make sure that we're
I
doing
know.
what we say we're going to do.
I know. I know. So I've been very bad the last few months, ever since my grandson was born.
Well, for good reason. You're distracted.
Yes, absolutely. So I haven't been as good as I normally would have been.
It's okay. I'm sure she understands when you have a grandbaby.
Yeah, that's
And a
probably,
brand new grandbaby. And this is your first grandbaby, I'm assuming.
yes, my
Yeah.
first.
Yeah,
My
that's so
first.
sweet.
And he is amazing.
That's sweet. So is he local? Like, can you get to him easily or do you have to
Oh
travel
yeah.
far?
Oh yeah. He's in South Station in Boston.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We were
They're
just talking
right
about that a
next door.
minute ago.
They're right next door. So I take the train in once a week, and I cook for the whole week for them. I take it down and I spend my day with him. And then
Oh,
starting January, my daughter goes back to work, and I'm taking care of him one day a week, and then they have a nanny.
oh, that sounds like a great plan.
Yeah, because my daughter wants him to learn Arabic.
That's so smart.
So, I talk to him in Arabic so that he'll gain the language.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Amanda said, congratulations on your grandson.
thank
And Amanda says she's been 2 years in January 2022 is when she joined. It'll be
okay,
2
then I
years.
think I'm November 21.
There you go. I'm having trouble, like, I'm enjoying our conversation so much I can't even focus on what I'm doing here.
I know.
So
I've
if
made
you guys
so
are
many
watching my
mistakes.
hands work, and this is not
I know.
a traditional crafty and chatty video, like, or a live broadcast. It is really a way for us to get to know Rima and for you guys to be introduced to a new creative who does new and different things than I do, such as resin. And so that you can go and hang out with her and follow her on her page. Now, I've already put her link in the comments, but I'm going to drop it here again so that
Thank
you guys have it and you can go over there and follow and like and just give her the support and love that you guys give me over here. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you. That's so kind.
Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. So I have some other questions that are craft related so people can get to know you a little. Are you ready
Okay.
for one of these questions?
Sure.
Okay. Remember, this is not a hard one, but it causes a little debate sometimes among crafters.
Hmm.
What is your favorite craft store, like either retail, like you walk in the door, or online, or both? What are your favorite places to shop for supplies?
Amazon.
Amazon. You're an Amazon girl.
Yeah, well, Hobby Lobby's too far away. I don't drive on highways. I drive
Okay.
local roads. So to
Yeah.
take local roads to go to Hobby Lobby takes me an hour, and I'd
Yeah.
rather not an hour there, an hour back. Michael's never seems to have what I need.
Interesting. Okay.
Um, and I think those are the only two that are close to that I can. I mean, there used to be AC Moore. There is Joann's, but Joann's doesn't sell the stuff I need.
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Um, and what else? So it's mostly, I don't waste time. I just go straight to Amazon.
And get what you need. That is the benefit. That is a benefit of shopping online versus in person.
Yes.
I don't. Okay, so the stores, Rima, they're 90 miles from where I am. There are no major
Wow.
hobby stores from me, so it's an hour and a half to get to that town. I do not get out of town very often, so I need to do all my shopping online. If I need something, it's cheaper for me to buy it online and pay shipping than to drive the 90 miles, get it, and drive 90 miles back. So
Absolutely.
the
Absolutely.
gas alone, it doesn't even make any sense.
No, absolutely. Plus your time.
The time. Then you have at least 4 hours in to go pick up a supply, which
Right.
I just don't do it. I shop online.
Yeah.
But there is that benefit to doing it online. Like it's not to say that you don't get distracted, because there are things that pop up on the screen that you're like, oh, I should look at that glue, or I should look at that too. It can happen,
It
but
does happen.
it's I think it's less than if I were to walk through Hobby Lobby. And Hobby Lobby is actually, I tell the girls, is my least favorite store to walk through, because I have trouble finding the stuff that I'm looking for crafting, and I get so distracted by all the home decor. I love to look at it.
Yeah.
So I sometimes tell my son, I have my son with me, and he asks if he can stay in the car. He's 16. And I say, no, I need your help. Well, what do I need to do? He knows now. He is in charge of the clock. So as I'm
Oh,
walking through the aisles, because it's always like the holiday stuff is the first thing through the door, and I have to look at the Christmas stuff or the Halloween stuff or the Easter stuff. And I tell him, if I'm going really slow, you have to give me every 15 minutes, you need to tell me, Mom, it's been 15 minutes. Because I get
wow.
so lost in time
Yeah, I can understand.
just looking. And if we only have 40 minutes before we have to get on the road again, I need to be very efficient about my time. And I find it very difficult on my own to be efficient when I go in those stores. I get lost.
I don't blame you. I mean,
Yeah.
Hobby Lobby, I end up buying more from Hobby Lobby than Amazon because, as you said, you see things.
Yes, that you weren't going there to buy that, but oh my gosh, how can I resist? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Is
Exactly.
anybody else, if you're in the comments and you feel the pain of that, give us your perspective in the comments. We want to hear from you. We love chatting about this stuff. We
And
love it.
there's also a drawback to this in that near Hobby Lobby, there's a golf place where my husband can play golf.
Oh.
So when he takes me, I mean, usually he has to drive me. He can spend 2 hours playing golf.
Oh gosh, you can fill a lot of carts in 2 hours.
Yeah,
I could see how that would be a challenge for sure.
yeah.
No doubt.
So I think that's one of the reasons I prefer Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Plus, I
I
just
am.
it's just so much easier. It's
It is so
really
much easier. It is. Yep. And I like that I'm a Prime member. So,
yeah,
most of the stuff well, all of the stuff that I buy is free Prime shipping.
yeah. I only
And
buy the Prime ones if it means I have to pay for shipping. Usually, I don't unless nobody else has it.
yeah, and that, you don't need to. There are so many
Right.
categories that fit in Prime shipping that just makes the most sense for sure.
Well, plus I try to use because they tell you small business when it's a small business that's on Amazon, and I tend to pick small businesses
Yes, I
um,
like that. Good for
um,
you.
to to shop with rather than you know
The big box stores. Yeah.
right.
Yep.
And so that's one. Let me just see what else I can tell you about me.
Well, I have some more questions I can ask.
Okay.
Okay. Um, what crafts, I think I know the answer to this already, but you may surprise us. What craft supplies do you have to replenish most often? So what is the craft supply that you have to, like, I ran out already, I need to go get more?
Glass and resin.
Okay, and when you say glass, but for those of us who don't know resin, can you give the ladies a little more information about what you mean by glass? Because I
Okay.
think I know what you mean, but I don't do resin, so it's probably better for you to explain it.
Okay. This is from Michael's, but this isn't my go-to. This is the shattered glass.
That's so pretty.
And this is gold. You can have it in like blue. The closest ones to me are the Michael's ones.
Okay.
There's purple, um, there's silver, but the regular ones, let me see if I can find regular that I buy from the lady that I take classes from. Sorry I left, but I just want to show you if I have any here. No, I'd have to go. Oh no, I do. I do.
I'm so curious because like I said, I don't do resin, and I'm assuming all of that stuff is not sharp. Like it's not sharp. Like you're not going to
Not
cut your
really,
hand.
not really. Oh, and I don't know why this one's not opening. Oh, there it is. These are a lot bigger. And this is the ones from Michael. So they're small.
Oh gosh, so pretty.
And those are the ones that I normally buy. Now these are 1/4 inch. But you can get 1/2 inch. It's basically, um, the fire pits that use glass.
Yeah, yeah.
This is basically what it is. This this stuff is basically what you put in your fireplace, but maybe in a bigger
In a
size,
bigger
like
format.
half.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe in half inch. Um,
Rima,
and
somebody is asking, Annette is asking, can I see a piece of your artwork? Can you show us a finished resin?
yeah,
Is there one close by to you that you can show the
I
ladies?
I have a big one. It's a
Listen, Rima, you have when I asked you to be, I asked the whole coaching group, would anybody like to collaborate and be a guest on my page and all that jazz, right? Went through that. And I didn't know who was going to respond and didn't know you before we're meeting now. So I did not know that you were a resin guru. And it's perfect because like I said, I know nothing. You can help my folks along with their resin journey because I know nothing. I can share no expertise in resin.
Okay, now this one is resin and shells and glass.
Oh, look at that, you guys.
And it's
Oh, wait a
painted.
minute. I'm going to put you bigger on the screen if I can. Hold on. I'm going to try to get yours there so that people can see it better. Wow. Oh, the
So
background is beautiful on that too.
that's actually plaster
Oh
that
my
I've used, not
gosh.
paint.
Rima, it's beautiful.
Thank you. And then there's the glass, and there's seashells, and there's also I cut glass. And I wish I had. Okay, this is another one. This is huge. This is a Christmas tree.
Whoa, guys, check that one out. Oh my word. Now listen, I'm seeing a lot of supply there, a lot
Yes,
of glass. And are the balls like ornaments or?
yes,
Yeah. So that is a lot of investment in the materials alone, let alone her
right,
time and expertise. So
right.
again, when you're shopping art and crafts, please keep in mind that it's a one of a kind. It isn't on a manufacturing plant where there's 1,000 of them made at once. She's made one of
Absolutely.
them, and it's been made all by hand from her expertise, and she had to purchase all of the supplies to make that. So
Right,
there's
right.
a lot that goes into that. Wow. Is that a gift for somebody or what are you hanging that on your wall?
No, actually, I have an auction on Friday
On your page? Where's the auction?
on my page,
Awesome. Okay.
7 o'clock, and
PM,
that's,
I assume.
yeah, 7 p.m.
Eastern time. She's in Eastern time, you guys. So all of
Yeah, I
you who
am.
follow me that are in Central, that means it's at 6 p.m. Central.
I am in Boston, and I love Boston.
I do too.
So
I do too.
how often do you get back?
I haven't been home in 2 years. It used to be that I would go every summer and bring my kids to see my family. But the last 2 years for our summer vacation, 2 years ago, we went to Virginia. And then this past summer, we did a Caribbean cruise. So we never even made it to Boston.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's been a couple of years since I've been home.
Well, next time when you come, you have to let me know.
Oh my gosh, wouldn't that be fun to connect?
Yes, absolutely.
You and Leanne Maracchio, she's
Yes.
she's also in that, she's in Woburn, I think. So she's in
Yeah,
your
but she
area too.
doesn't leave Woburn.
We can go to her.
Yeah, I have not met her. Can you believe
Tita's,
that?
well, it's sometimes hard. We're
It
trying
is.
to get all the things done and be attentive to our families while trying to run businesses. So I
I
get
know.
it.
I know. I know.
I get it. Tita says, she's saying, that's beautiful, Rima. You do resin in a very artful way.
Thank you, Tita. What does
Yeah.
Tita teach?
She teaches art, but Tita, I'm going to let you speak to it because I can't do you justice in the comments. So tell everybody, Tita has her own small business page too. So Tita, give everybody the rundown in the comments. I am truly all about sharing and,
Absolutely.
really helping other small businesses get to meet, like introduce you and to introduce them,
Right.
make introductions, like just so you can decide for yourself, is this somebody who is doing a craft that I'm interested in buying or watching or learning from. It just expands all of our our
It
networks, I
does.
think.
Our horizon,
Yeah,
our
yeah.
ideas. No, I love sharing.
Me too. I do too. I really intend, Rima, I've been doing quite a few big events. The big craft events that are 2 days long and you take a half hour or 45-minute session. And I've
Right.
been doing that for years, and it's been a really beautiful and helpful way for me to meet a lot of people. I don't intend to not do them anymore, but I would really love to focus on more intimate conversations like this,
Right.
where it's just one or two crafters at a time, and we're going to get to know each other real well.
Yeah, I think that's a great way. And I think Serena suggestion, I mean, that's the reason I put my name down. Because of Serena. So,
Okay, so she encouraged you to do
she
that. That's
should
good.
know how much we're talking about her.
Maybe her ears are ringing. I have another question for you, and we're at about 50 minutes, and I like to keep these to about an hour. Now, and again, for those of you who are hanging out with us today, thank you for being here. Thanks for getting to know us better. The focus of the guest in the nest is not necessarily the craft that you see us doing like in front of you, which you
Right.
may be accustomed to seeing live broadcasts where there's a craft done from start to finish. That's not the focus for Guest in the Nest. The focus is on getting to know the person, who is Rima today from Walls and More. And so my process is to just create and chat and with both you and in the audience, those of you who are watching, and with the guest, who Rima, and to ask her questions so that we can get to know her better. So here's another question for you, Rima.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we're going to go through this question. If you guys have questions that you want to ask Rima or me, you can ask in the comments, but I really want to focus on Rima today. And we have about 10 more minutes for Guest in the Nest broadcast. We'll get through the question that I have for her, and then I'll go through and see who's asking questions in the comments, and we'll address those. So Rima, are
Mm-hmm.
you an organized and planned crafter, creator, or do you fly by the seat of your pants when you create? I
I am
love this
organized.
question. I
I'm
love this.
organized when planning what I'm going to do on a live,
Okay.
but my craft room is a disaster. There's nothing organized in it. And I try and I try, and the more I try, the worse it becomes. And then I end up losing where I've put things because I've tidied things.
Oh, yes. I lose more things by trying to clean than I do just leaving it alone.
Right, exactly.
I
Exactly.
think I think a lot of creatives out there listening in who have their own craft space can relate to that. And um, I think there's some value to both of these sides of the coin. I
Right,
think I think it's good to have a general plan, like I'm going to do a resin art angel, for example, like what
right.
you're working on. But then, as for me anyway, as a person who creates, as I'm working on a project, even if I have a plan in my head, sometimes the supplies talk to me or the colors
Absolutely.
talk to me, and I feel drawn to something that wasn't my intention, but oh, I feel like I really want to use this color scheme instead of what I was planning on. So I do try to listen to that little voice in my head, because I think it opens us up to things that if we're super planned and we just follow the plan, you can't let your creative mind and heart just be free.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't always work for everybody. And if you have a very planned person, like your personality is very planned and regimented, I would really encourage you maybe have a general plan, but then sit down and just open up your color supplies, like whether it's a color medium like a paint or a watercolor, or your papers or your fabrics, and just be free to just
Right.
let it fly a little bit. Like just experiment and let things happen. And I think it will stretch your creative mind a little bit. That's just
I
my
think that's
perspective.
very true. I don't think I've ever started a project that, I'll start a project, as you said, with something in mind. And even if I continue it with the ideas that I had, it doesn't work out.
Right.
And I need to think about it overnight and then go back and change it the next day.
Yes. Yes. I can see
Or,
that.
or like, I'm going to show you, this is one thing I was working on yesterday. And one of my, I was doing this, it's not resined yet. I was working on this, and one of my viewers said, why don't you use wood you bend and do like a little hut?
Wow. That is so
Because
pretty.
all this was going to be was just the oyster shells and the star. But when she said, use your wood you bend and do this, that made a lot more sense.
Well, it gave you a different perspective that you weren't
Right,
seeing. Right.
right.
Yeah.
So,
And that opens up like a whole nother like way of looking at it is,
right.
do you prefer to create alone or do you prefer to create in a group? Because, and I'm going to add that to my questions for guests, because there are a lot, like I have my own membership group that's a paid membership group, and we create together regularly, weekly, sometimes a couple of times a week together. But then there's the public groups that I would imagine almost all of us belong to, the free groups that are out there that are specific to
Right.
decoupage or napkins or would you bend or IOD products or whatever the products are that you love to use. So there's the beauty of sharing your project photos and asking questions, and there's a lot of creativity that can spark from being together.
Mm-hmm.
But then at the same token, I find so much peace and relaxation when I can just put some music on, light a candle, and sit down at my table by myself. And
Right.
yeah, so that's
I like
that's
a
actually
mix of both.
me too. Me too.
If I have something that I'm just repeating, and so it doesn't read, because sometimes, like this Christmas tree, I do it in different sizes. Obviously, not many people can get that size because it's a lot more expensive than the smaller ones. So if I know what I'm doing, I don't need anyone there.
Right.
But
Right.
if I'm doing something like, I've never done oysters with a nativity scene,
Right.
I welcome, their input, if anybody has input, because
Yep.
I think it makes you look at things differently.
I totally agree with you. You're making so much sense to me. I'm going to look in the comments here. I'm trying to stop making noise with my rulers. I'm going to look at the comments and see. Yes, Elizabeth, we are still live. If you see the little live button in the upper corner of your screen, you are catching somebody during a live broadcast. Okay, Leslie says, I cleaned my space 2 days ago, but now it's messier than before I cleaned it up.
Mhm. Welcome, welcome to my world.
Right. All right. Kim has a question. She's asking, what is your favorite product to use for creating, Rima?
Product, I think it would have to be paint, because without paint, I can't create. I can't, most of these canvases or whatever I'm using, wood, um, the canvases are dirty. The wood is not exactly the same color. So the paint, I think, is what transforms your canvas and makes your project more real. And the other thing is that with resin, we've recently been told that if you use white titanium as paint,
Yeah.
resin is going to yellow. No matter what.
Really?
Yeah. So that's why you see me not using
Interesting.
white titanium anymore. That's why I'm using different ones. But this one doesn't say what it has in it, but I'd have to assume.
Yeah, that's such an interesting, for those of you who like to resin, if you just heard what she said, that white titanium paint can be known to yellow your resin.
Right. And won't do it this year, could do it next year.
Right. It may be like over time, that's what's going to
Right.
happen. Yeah.
Right. And
Wow, that's an interesting fact.
Leslie's asking, what is Would You Bend?
I don't use it. You use it, you sell it, so you give the girls, see, this is so
Uh,
perfect. You can enlighten everybody.
this is Would You Bend. Would You Bend is a product that's made of wood, um, that behaves like wood, acts like wood. You can paint it, you can stain it, you can drill it. Um, but when you heat it up, it bends. See how it's coming down?
So it softens so
It
that you can
softens.
then you can mold it around something or
Right. So I can do this.
yes, and let me disappear this comment so everybody can see you. And so not only on a flat surface can you bend it to your will,
Right.
but it can go around a vase or yes.
Yes. But in its cold state, it's brittle. It breaks easily. But the minute you heat it up, you can bend it. And all you need is a good wood glue to attach it. And you can put it on wood, on glass, on metal, on plastic even. I've done it on the foam Easter eggs. And it
Oh, cute.
doesn't just come in trims. It comes, there's a lot of different styles.
Well, and yes, so it reminds me of molds. So I
Yes.
do sometimes use molds with paper clay.
Yeah.
Um, that takes a lot longer, to be honest. If you buy a would you bend decorative element, like a strip that has like a brocade on it or some type of design on it, if you like to use molds to frame things out specifically or to decorate even like a vase or a glass jar or something, the would you bend seems really, really
You,
fast and
yes.
easy. Yeah.
It is fast and it's easy. And I know people complain about the pricing, but time is money.
Time is money, right? Particularly if you have a booth and you're trying to make 100 ornaments to sell at your booth at craft fairs through November and December, it
Right.
would be a lot faster to use would you bend than it would be to use a mold system.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. With the mold, you have to make it, dry, paint it. That's all you need to do is paint it.
Right.
Apply it, heat it, apply it, paint it.
Right. Yeah, I think it is. It's probably way more efficient in that regard. If you were to add up the time and energy it takes to use a mold versus using wood you bend,
Right.
I think you're going to be in better shape using the
Right.
wood you bend, even if it
No,
does feel like it's costly.
but the two cons are maybe the price, and the other one is you're limited by what the manufacturer makes.
Right. Yeah, sure,
With the
sure.
mold, you can create a lot more styles, but you can cut the wood you bend to create different styles. You can change things by just cutting it.
Yeah. Very good.
Cutting.
That's a very good point. I'm glad. I think it was Leslie who asked that question. Thank you
Yeah,
for whoever it was that asked that question. Thank you for asking it. Because that is not, again, I know what would you bend is. I've never used it. So I can speak to it just with the sense that of knowing what it is from afar. But Rima sells it, and this is the one thing that you sell in your Etsy shop.
right.
Yes. So for those of you who are interested, I've given you Rima's Facebook page link in the comments. It's also on my page in the event. If you go to the event, you can find her that way. But after we're done live here in a minute or so, Rima, when she has a chance, either today or tomorrow, she's going to send me the couple of links that she wants me to share, and I will share them here on the page so that you guys can find her. you can find
Right.
her Etsy shop or her Facebook page or YouTube, wherever she wants you to find
Or
her,
the website.
or her website. Yep. So we'll get you all those links.
Now,
Um,
there's one more thing before we go that I also sell and I love is foils. Have you ever used foil?
I love foils. I just used them yesterday in my paid membership group. I used them on. We made a tree, a Christmas tree out of books, out of a book, and so I used it to decorate my tree. But tell us about what foil. Do you have a particular brand, or what is it that you do?
I sell. I have two places that I purchase it, and I just for those that don't know what foils are, let me just show you.
We're learning about all kinds of new products and things today, which is so exciting. I think it's so exciting.
Now this is foil. This is another kind of foil, and this is foil, and this is our pentart velvet.
Okay.
And what you need to do is you paint this. I typically do it black. Then I apply the adhesive, which is a special foil adhesive. And I've tried a lot of adhesives, and this one is the only one I've found that works. Although I haven't tried pentarts, and I need to do that. You leave it to tack for about an hour. Then you apply the foil. You scrub it with a scrubber, like this. And then you lift up the paper, and the paper becomes clear like this. Hold on.
So it basically is transferring the foil onto whatever
Right.
project it is that you're rubbing it onto, kind of like a transfer.
Exactly. Thank you for finding my words. Like for
No,
example,
that's okay.
no,
Yeah.
I'm saying thank you. Like this, you put the pretty side up, and when
Yeah.
you transfer, this was a tree that I did, and where it's hollow, where it's empty,
Yeah.
is where foil went up.
Where it transferred
you,
on. Yeah.
Right, and then all you need to do is seal it, and that's what foils are. And I think I have about 60 or 70 different ones.
Now, are those in your Etsy store or on your website?
Website.
Website. Okay. So you have a couple
My
of places
website
people can go.
was created just for foils at the beginning, and then I decided to expand to Decoupage Queen and
Gotcha.
Penta.
So you and I are both Decoupage Queen retailers. I didn't realize that. That's cool.
Yeah, I never see you those Saturdays when she does her.
I haven't had time. I mean, there's only so many hours in the day,
I
and
know.
my poor family, when they are home, which Saturdays, I try to be as attentive to my husband and kids as I can be. While my kids are very close to leaving for college, Rima. One is a junior, one's a junior in high school, and the other one is a senior. And I'm feeling that pressure of they're going to be gone. They're going to leave this nest. Mm-hmm.
Oh no,
So
that I hated that.
I'm
went
really
to,
trying hard to really capitalize on my time with them.
No,
And
are they
not.
going to local schools or are they
Well, my
going?
son Landon is a senior, and he is planning on going to Grand Forks, which is that 90 miles away. So I'll probably be getting to Hobby Lobby and Michael's more often next year. He's going to go to the University of North Dakota is his plan right now. So that's
Oh,
90 miles away. And my other son is a junior, and we brought him on all the college visits that we went on with my other son, just because he's right behind him. I said it just makes sense for both of us, for both of you to look at
right.
these colleges. And right now, he really likes South Dakota State University, which is about 6 hours away. So he would
Oh,
be further away. Yeah.
you know, you're a very good mom. I told my girls, because I have two girls, I said, you can pick whatever college in Boston you
There's so
can get
many to
into.
pick from.
You're not leaving because we have the best colleges in the world.
I mean, there are a lot of really good colleges for
Yeah,
sure.
so
There's no
the
doubt.
one went to BU and the other one went to Northeastern.
There you go. Both great schools.
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
before,
When my boys were really young, I mean, I had just, I moved here 23 years ago, and we had my son 18 years ago. So I was still in like the mode of it would be great if they went to school in Boston where my family is, because they would have family there and they'd get to see a new part of it. Now that they're the age they are, I want them as close to me as possible. I
Well,
do not want them going that far.
exactly. Well, the other advantage of having them that close is that when they get jobs, they'll stay in the area close to you.
Well, and
Whereas if they've gone away, that's it. You can kiss them living near you forever.
right, because their network really does come from their college, the network at
Right,
college. So
right,
I
exactly.
completely agree with that. Yeah, and both of my boys are very intent. I've taken them to Boston. Oh my gosh, they've been traveling since they were born. I've taken them back so many times. I can't even count. So they know Boston, they know New England, because we for years now we've been doing one vacation, like we've been to, well, and actually Pennsylvania. We went to Virginia, Pennsylvania, Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, Massachusetts. This is all the places we've been vacationing. So
Right.
they've seen a lot of the East Coast, and they are both very intent on staying in the Midwest. They are
Well,
not
that's
interested
great.
in they're not interested in the traffic. They're not interested in the congestion. They're not interested in the tall buildings. They just really like the open plains and where they grew up. So
Yeah.
I'm happy about that because I want them
Oh,
close to
that's
me.
great. That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before we leave, I want to thank you so, so much for giving me the opportunity to come on as your guest. I really think it's wonderful. I'm so glad we finally met.
Yes. Me too.
And we'll have to do it again, but do actual art maybe.
I think what we were doing was just perfect because it was more
Um,
focusing on us as
right,
people than on what we create, which
right.
it really, in the scheme of things, is so much more. Not to say it's more important, but it's as equally as important. It's
It
to get
is.
to know the people.
It is not. And the other advantage of that is that they're hearing our voices,
Yes.
even though they may not be seeing exact details of what we're doing, but our
Right.
voices, you don't need a screen for that.
Right. No, you don't. Yeah, you're right. I'm so happy you said yes to being a guest
Thank
in
you
the
so
nest.
much for inviting me.
I do appreciate you. And thank you to all of our fantastic people who've been hanging out with
Absolutely.
us and asking questions and getting to know Rima and maybe me a little bit more. If you're coming from Rima's channel, thank you for coming over to visit. We hope that you'll stick around on both of our pages and follow and like us so that you can get to know us even better than you have today. You guys have a beautiful, blessed day. Go make
Thank
something
you.
pretty that brings your heart joy. And Rima, you and I will be seeing each other in the coaching group for sure.
Exactly. Thanks very
Okay.
much. Take care.
Bye,
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.